Furfuri Nagar was a cheerful town with brightly colored houses and little shops selling wonderful things. The sun always seemed to shine a bit brighter there. People smiled a lot in Furfuri Nagar. In this lovely town lived two best friends, Motu and Patlu. Motu was a large fellow with an even larger heart. He loved his friends and adored tasty, warm samosas. Patlu was slim, clever, and always wore smart glasses. He was the brains of the duo, often helping Motu out of tricky spots. Their group of friends was special too. There was Dr. Jatka, an eccentric inventor whose creations often went wrong. Gasitaram, with 20 years of experience in almost everything, always had a story or advice. And Inspector Chingam, the town's policeman, who rode a green motorbike and liked to say, "My name is Chingam, Inspector Chingam." These friends often found themselves in funny situations. Furfuri Nagar was usually peaceful, but with Motu and Patlu around, adventures were never far away. Little problems could turn into big, hilarious escapades. They always faced things together. That was the best part about their friendship. They stuck together like glue, or perhaps like the filling in a delicious samosa. Their days were full of laughter and a few bumps along the road. But no matter what, they always had each other's backs. And that made every day in Furfuri Nagar a special one. One sunny morning, shocking news spread through Furfuri Nagar. The annual Grand Samosa Festival was just around the corner. Everyone looked forward to it all year. But this year, there was a big problem. All the potatoes in Furfuri Nagar had vanished. Every single one, gone, poof. Motu heard the news while dreaming of samosas. He sat bolt upright in his bed. "No potatoes!" he cried out loud. His tummy rumbled sadly. "But that means no samosas for the festival." Patlu, ever the calm one, was already thinking. He adjusted his glasses. The town's chaiwala, who made the best samosas, was wringing his hands. "What will I do? No potatoes, no famous Furfuri samosas." Even Inspector Chingam looked concerned. He zoomed around on his motorbike, looking for clues, but there were no clues to be found. The potatoes had simply disappeared without a trace. Motu was beside himself with worry. "Patlu, we have to do something," he exclaimed. "A samosa festival without samosas is like me without samosas. It's just not right." "Don't worry, Motu," Patlu said. "I will think of a plan. We will find those potatoes. The samosa festival must go on." Patlu sat under his favorite thinking tree. Ideas began to bubble in his clever mind. "Aha!" he said suddenly. "I have it, Motu. We need something that can find things, something that can sniff out hidden potatoes." Motu's eyes lit up. "Like a super-duper potato-sniffing dog?" he asked hopefully. Patlu chuckled. "Not quite a dog, Motu, but something even better. We will go to Dr. Jatka. He must have an invention that can help us locate the missing potatoes." Motu clapped his hands. "Dr. Jatka, of course, he made that thing that turned my shoes into springs. That was a bouncy day." So the two friends set off towards Dr. Jatka's peculiar laboratory. It was a building full of pipes, wires, and strange noises. Little puffs of colored smoke often came from its chimney. Gasitaram saw them walking by. "Off on an adventure, are we?" he called out. "Remember my 20 years of experience in finding lost things? It usually involves looking under the sofa." Motu waved. "We're going to find the potatoes, Gasitaram." Patlu explained his idea to Motu as they walked. "Dr. Jatka's invention will lead us straight to the potatoes," he said. "Then we can bring them back. The chaiwala can make his delicious samosas, and the festival will be saved." Dr. Jatka greeted them at the door of his lab. He wore a white coat and goggles perched on his head. "Motu, Patlu, come in," he exclaimed cheerfully. Patlu quickly explained their predicament. "Dr. Jatka, we need your help. All the potatoes in Furfuri Nagar are gone. We need an invention to find them." Dr. Jatka's eyes gleamed. "Missing potatoes, you say? Fascinating. A challenge for science." He scurried off into the depths of his lab. After a few minutes, he returned, pushing a very strange machine. It had long, wobbly antennae, flashing lights of all colors, and it made a funny boinga-boinga sound. "Behold," Dr. Jatka announced proudly, "the Potato Detector-Matic 5000. Motu stared at the machine. "It looks very shiny. he said. Patlu examined it more closely. How does it work, Dr. Jutka? He asked. Simple, my dear Patlu, Dr. Jutka explained, tapping a large dial. You just point it in a direction, and if there are potatoes nearby, its main light will glow bright green, and it will shout, "Potato, tato, tato." They decided to test it outside. Dr. Jutka carefully wheeled the Potato Detectomatic 5000 into the street. Motu held his breath. Patlu watched intently. Dr. Jutka aimed it down the road. Despite the initial bicycle incident, Patlu encouraged Dr. Jutka to try again. Focus on potatoes, Dr. Jutka, focus! Patlu urged. Dr. Jutka fiddled with some knobs and wires on the Potato Detectomatic 5000. Right then, let's give it another go, he declared with renewed enthusiasm. He aimed the machine towards the market square. The machine beeped softly. Then its main light flickered green. Potato, tato, tato, it squawked, much louder this time. Motu jumped for joy. It works! It works! They followed the direction the machine indicated. It led them past the sweet shop, then the kite maker's stall. Inspector Chingham saw them. What is that peculiar device? He asked, eyeing the flashing lights with suspicion. Patlu quickly explained. We think it's found the potatoes, Inspector. Chingham decided to follow them, just in case. My name is Chingham, Inspector Chingham, and I will get to the bottom of this potato pilfering, he announced, revving his motorbike. The Potato Detectomatic 5000, however, seemed a bit confused. It led them in a circle, then zigzagged down an alleyway. It stopped in front of a sleeping dog. Doggo, 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 it declared. Motu sighed. I don't think dogs are made of potatoes, Dr. Jutka. Inspector Chingham parked his motorbike with a screech. John the Don's hideout. I knew he was up to no good, he declared. Motu Patlu and Dr. Jutka peered through a dusty window. Inside, they saw a surprising sight. John the Don was surrounded by tiny potatoes. Hundreds of them, no bigger than marbles. He was muttering to himself and looking quite distressed. Patlu carefully pushed open the creaky door. John? He called out. John the Don jumped, startled. Motu, Patlu, Inspector, Dr. Jutka. What are you all doing here? He stammered. We're here for Fufuri Nagar's potatoes, John, Motu said. The ones you stole for the Samosa festival. John looked even more sheepish. Stole? Well, not exactly. John sighed and explained his predicament. You see, there's this giant vegetable competition. I really wanted to win this year. I thought if I had the biggest potatoes, I'd surely get the prize. He then pointed to another of Dr. Jutka's inventions in the corner, a rather complicated-looking ray gun. I borrowed Dr. Jutka's growth ray, but I think I set it to shrink by mistake. I was trying to make one giant potato, but instead, I shrunk all of them, Dr. Jutka gasped. My reverser grow ray, I wondered where that had gone. He examined the device. Yes, John, you definitely had it on the itty-bitty setting. Motu looked at the tiny potatoes. So, these are our festival potatoes? He asked, his hopes for big samosas shrinking just like the spuds. Dr. Jutka, can you reverse the effect? Can you make them big again? Dr. Jutka, with Patlu assisting, quickly got to work on the Reverso Grow Ray. John the Don watched anxiously. Motu kept a close eye on the tiny potatoes. Inspector Chingham supervised. Dr. Jutka declared, It's ready. Stand back, everyone. He aimed the ray at the pile of miniature potatoes. With a loud zap and a flash of bright light, the potatoes began to tremble. Then they started to grow, and grow, and grow. They grew bigger and bigger until each potato was the size of a small pumpkin. Wow, he exclaimed. Those are giant potatoes. John the Don looked astonished, then delighted. They're magnificent, he cried. The Samosa festival was saved. The Chaiwala was overjoyed with the enormous potatoes. He declared he would make the biggest samosas Fufuri Nagar had ever seen. And he did. The Samosa festival was a huge success. Everyone marveled at the giant samosas. Motu was in absolute heaven, munching on a samosa almost as big as his head. Even John the Don, who helped deliver the giant potatoes, was forgiven and joined the celebration. As the sun set on a very happy Fufuri Nagar, Patlu smiled. Well, Motu, he said, it seems even a potato problem can have a big solution.